Okay, here we are. We got a little bit of a late start today, but was necessary in order to complete all of the things I needed to complete. We're westing just towards Lummi and Rosario Strait right now, and it's a beautiful evening to be on the water. Definitely a bit chilly, especially without a Dodger doghouse or whatever. But I'm enjoying the night. It's a beautiful night out here. Nobody out on the water. We're late November right now, so. All right, I'm in bed now. I'm stoked. I put a new Japanese futon in here, which is a thin twin. And then I've got this wool duvet that I just put in this morning too for winter, and it is so cozy. So, and I'm on a mooring ball, so I just get to completely chill. It's pretty lush right now, actually. All right, good morning. Had a good lie-in today. We are at Watmo making some Rasa quasi kind of coffee substitute. And here is Watmo Bay this morning. All right, so you want to know what feeds the sailor? First off, I got this Rasa tea, which is a really nice blend of kind of mushrooms and chicory, and then I put some cocoa or cacao in there, honey, and a little bit of butter, and then cookies. So grateful to find a mooring ball. Look at these cliffs here. Super beautiful. But we got a good breeze blowing right into the bay. I'm gonna actually sail off an anchor. I should say sail off the mooring. It's no big deal in a big space like this. Gotta watch that wall, but throw up the main and get out of here. No problem. I want to share a little bit of what I do before I set sail. First of all, I kind of pick the clothes I want to wear immediately. And what I do is I lay out my layers just within easy reach. So I've got different hats here that I can choose from to put on. Just a couple different pairs of gloves, and then I put like different jackets and a sweater up here. And then that way it's just super easy access from the cockpit to come down and grab something to change into quickly. I'm also getting water. That's my pee jug there. I keep that in the cockpit as well. If it's a little bit windy, or even if it's not so windy, it saves me from leaning over the rail to pee, which I don't have a problem with doing. It's just if I can keep myself in the cockpit, it's just safe. I don't know. Formalities on land are different than formalities at sea, especially single-handing. I don't need to run all the way up to the head to urinate. I've got cold water with electrolytes here, and then I'm going to warm up some water and make some tea or some bone broth to kind of carry with me. I'm also going to get out a couple snacks just to have on hand in the galley. And then that should be it for my preparations. Oh, looking here off to starboard. Let's see if I can zoom in. Another sailor out there. I wonder where they're going. Let's see if we can catch them. They're giving me an idea of what the wind's doing out there too, so that's super helpful. And it does look like it's a southerly. It looks like they're sailing on a starboard tack away. Yeah, way towards Whidbey Island there. So looking like awesome conditions for sailing. We'll see how it is around the corner there, because it's going to be a little bit rough, and there's a large fetch coming up the, not the strait, but up the sound. So looks like it's fun out there though. All right, I'm going to get on it. A beam reach now. Well, we're kind of close hauled now, but got a little bit of a beam reach just out of Watmo. I had to tack my way out. Today kind of a zero motor day. No need for it. I've got a decent amount of time today to get over to Victoria, and of course we'll see how that goes according to conditions. But we got a nice wind, and winds are looking perfect. It's just kind of just seeing a little bit of caps, so we're probably 10, 12 knots if that. What you're missing if you're sitting on your couch. We do what we do when we can, right? Nothing wrong with that. I do that a lot myself. Get inspiration from other sailors and other people. It's a lee shore over there, probably a little bit closer than I would have chosen to get to it. Kind of mixed up seas right now. Just entered the Strait, San Juan, rounding the south end of Lopez, and just bumpy. We're getting some waves over the bow occasionally. The Strait is pretty interesting. You get these just short, confused seas, and the period is so short. Not that there's really anything defining with the waves right now, because there's not enough time for them to sort itself out from the origin of the wind. And there's probably some current that's helping that a bit. Despite the bumpiness, I'm actually making pretty good headway. We're a little over 6 knots. Feels like 1 to 2 knots to be on a rough bump. Super beautiful island right there. Nice to get a little intimate with it. Don't want to get too intimate with them though. To go through Cattle Pass and basically just have a little bit of food. I'm gonna see what happens later in the day. Drop the hook here. We're gonna see, you know how it is. We got a bit of wind coming from the south. It's there's not a lot of fetch, which is awesome. But... All right, good morning, everybody. It is third morning, and it is a bit on the windy, blistery side here. We've got shelter to the south out there, and I believe the wind is still kind of southeast-ish. Forecast says it's gusting to 20, but man, we got hit by some stuff last night that I thought was upwards of that. So kind of thwomp that wakes you up in the night. Actually, just a little break in the wind right now. Pretty sweet, actually. Plenty of crab pots surrounding me, so I would like to get out of here before the crabbers get back in and pull those. So we're gonna have a little bit of lemon water to break the fast, and then I'm gonna continue to break that fast with a little bit of rasa, and then probably an apple and peanut butter or something like that. Pretty light breakfast this morning. And then we're gonna get the boat ready to go, do some planning, get the boat ready to go. And just gonna try to break out one of the charts and show where I'm at and where I'm going, but I'll probably do that in another video in a few minutes here. Okay, so not the best chart here in terms of detail, but we don't need that for what we're doing here. First day came out of Bellingham Bay, Squalicum Harbor, and made really good time with kind of current. This is a nice sail all the way down here, not too far, and then just down to Watmo. But anyways, was cruising along here. Did actually a really short sail yesterday, just around the point here, and then up into through Cattle Pass. Today we've got strong southeasterlies still. So anyways, I'm either going to try to head straight up the pass here. I got a little bit of current against me, but the winds are with me for sure. It'll be calmer water too to run with. Or I just decide like, hey, I want to make that circumnavigation of the San Juan Islands and head out and around. In which case there's no real shelter up until Roach Harbor here. Or I continue to make my way over to Victoria. So I'll do a little bit more research on what the wind's doing. I think it's just staying out of the southeast all day. And I'm imagining the waves are going to be almost exactly the same as yesterday. All right, we're just, hey, look at that. How pretty. We're just crossing the channel here over into Canada. And yeah, we're doing good. Just kind of cruising, easy seas. A few little sets coming through that are rocking the boat, but other than that, it's a pretty uneventful, pretty blissful so far. Just all right, I got a pretty early morning tomorrow to head out of Victoria. So I'm just getting my breakfast prepared for tomorrow. Good morning, sunrise here, just easting out of Victoria Harbor now. Easy, motored out of the Victoria Harbor. Get a little bit more of that as it comes along. Very gentle breeze. We're easting, we got a little bit of a northeast. Area for the float planes. So anyways, glad to be back on the water. The Victoria was amazing, and it's also glad to be back out on the water. Not sure how well this will come out on this, but right inside that little pocket there, underneath that cloud, is the Point Hudson around Port Townsend. There we go, look at that. I think I got it in the other video too. But yeah, we're going slow. All right, the sun has risen. Kind of around 2 knots, maybe occasionally. We are just rounding the the southeast side here of Vancouver Island, and we are trying to recently 3. So what? It's a beautiful morning, and I'm looking forward to the sun kind of warming things up a bit. It is a bit brisk. So cool. The peninsula just got entirely enshrouded by clouds. You can see at the top of one of the peaks out there, but just can't see the coast anymore. Anyways, we got good wind now. We're getting so we kind of around the edge of Vancouver Island here, and we reach a little convection point here. Southeast. That's the right turn. It probably isn't. I don't really care. So you notice we have a pretty good, got a good sized ship here. Super nice. And it's been inches out. It's still pretty brisk with that noise. Yeah, just because we're sailing vessels doesn't mean we have the right of way, and it's just stupid to take the right of way when you're I don't know, my boat is what, 6 tons? That's gotta be, I don't know, probably a little more than 6 tons. It didn't. So I'm just gonna go straight and figure out what happens. No, I do have to yield to them. It's a foolhardy captain that doesn't yield. Classic San Juans. So just past Cattle Pass maybe an hour ago. And then the wind clocked 180 degrees. And so it was north, kind of north and maybe north-northeast. Now it's south. End of the San Juans. And pretty typical. South. It's basically from the south. So there's a rip. It's a great place to learn how to sail because and apparently the current is come across all the conditions that like they're all here. You'll go in one sail. I feel like I've been looking at this lighthouse from being bent over on your ear, heeled over still not a beam. It's like if I turn, and then you'll get every turn to starboard a little bit direction of wind in a. I can make it a beam. There we go. And I'm on course now, actually, too. Going right around the point. Okay, so we've got the cliffs of Watno. Couldn't start the engine, the wind died. I was intending to sail in, but two things happened. One is the wind died, but the other thing was the tide was shifting to where it was going to be pushing out of the Rosario Strait pretty pretty soon. So I elected to drop the sails and motor, but I had trouble starting the motor. I was right off the point there. Got to figure out the tides and all that stuff tonight, and I'll plan tomorrow as it comes. All right. Seems to be the most obvious first before you dive into the other stuff. Cliffs again before I let you go. Anyways, I'm a bit chilly. Beautiful. It's sunset now. There's my drones up here. Got in here just in time. I'm gonna sit down with a little bit of the very top. I'm gonna take the hike tomorrow too. I haven't been on the hike, so not sure if I'll bring you along or not. Sometimes I just want to solo it. Okay, doing it here. Got my tea already as a prep for breakfast. And then it's funny how not leaving today, or the tide being against me, has forced me to settle down, so now I can actually make myself a good meal. Good morning from I haven't done that the whole trip. That's it. The engine won't start right now. It is clicking over. There's probably an issue with corrosion in the wiring harness in general. Look at that all alone. And that can lead to a lot of issues. I want to believe that it is clicking over. And I have to say, I've been running this engine quite a bit without any... because I've seen the corrosion, and also before I diagnose, a lot of times people will just replace starters and solenoids. See if just cleaning out the contacts, a lot of times there's not the correct voltage heading to the starter. So I'm looking at that. At least that'll not sure if you guys can see it on video. Possibly for today. There's a wire down there that has a red really go through the wiring harness stripe on it. It's white. That to me means it's a power lead from the ignition. Some sort of power that's connecting into the solenoid, I think. Bit by bit, doing these little tests, I should be able to figure out what the issue is. You're not gonna be able to see it. Connections are right here, so I think what I can do is pull them apart and do a little recognizing the importance of, and probably some testing tools and manuals and stuff on you all the time. Luckily for me, I do have. So just going through and pulling tools and the manuals, the wiring harness connections apart and cleaning them up. There's some corrosion on the kind of positive lead. The just pulled the switch apart. All that. And not sure if that's the actual culprit. Sure looks like it's potentially though. So gonna clean up all of this stuff here, and we'll see if that's the problem. The ignition switch. I'm going to hook up the wiring harness down there. And all I'm doing is basically going through that up, and the switch is working fantastic. Cleaning up all the contacts. I was having trouble with it being kept even in the start position, but it's really flowing really nice because I just sprayed it out. The switch, I cleaned it up. Taking this cable here. Cut this back. It was actually a good connection, but the previous terminal on it looked like it was going to basically ground and gap out. So I'm replacing the terminal. I don't have the proper tools. Next steps. Like good dikes are not on drainage board. Some other useful tools are also not on board. But then pulling. Oh my gosh. It is a fabulous, fabulous afternoon here. What a day to be stuck anywhere, huh? And I am so lucky to be stuck here. Look at that. You see that? I'm stuck on the hook. But there's a reason why they say don't make plans as a sailor, and as you become a sailor, you understand why. Here, and then today decided not to start back up. Man, so I'm so fortunate. I'm just in a very safe spot. Worst comes to worst, I have to wait for wind and sail into Fairhaven and drop the hook over there. Okay, so we're just listening now. Yeah, up top here. So we're getting the same exact thing. And let's see if we can hear the same. Oh, take some time. So beautiful out. It is like tea time to just sit on deck. Okay, nighttime now, which doesn't say much. It's still pretty early in the day when the Pacific Northwest still gets dark. Might at least get me started. Pulled the starter. It's kind of a bummer because I know some of the engines you can buy, they actually have a hand crank seen anything that's option, and it'd be super sick if I had that right now because up to do that just in the meantime. But anyways, I kind of like these little bit of problems, especially when I'm not in like an immediate danger or anything like that. They're kind of fun to diagnose and figure out, and there's a pretty straightforward way of assessing what the potential problems are. Set up and I didn't really learn a lot about starters until I had a bunch of issues with my Penta 2040 still out. And I took it into some specialists a few times, and they just ended up being super helpful. Sorry about the light here. And ended up replacing a couple starters because I learned the hard way of what not to do. Yeah, I'm super pleased. I want to say the main thing that probably so helped, I went through the wiring, cleaning up all the connections, and basically cleaned up wires, cleaned up grounds. And in the end, I actually pulled the starter apart and put it back together. So everything started up, and it started up just as it should. I kind of just not even a crank, not even a chunk, just straight start up. So everything's going good. Really cleaning those connection points just made a world of difference. And then put that back together. That was what the issue was. I think it was a bad ground. South end of Lummi. Back into Bellingham Bay. Vandovi over here. And a sunset. Pleasant sail. Just rounded the corner back there a bit and was able to put up the sail. I mostly wanted to get out of the straits there. Actually get between Guimas and Cyprus before the tide change. That's where the major push is for the current. So I'm kind of in a good spot right now. Rosario Strait will definitely push some current, but since I'm on the other side of Vandovi, it won't be pushing much anymore. So I'm probably gonna head out either all the way back to Squalicum, or I'm gonna drop the hook in Fairhaven. We'll see how I feel and what the time and everything is. Probably once I get to Fairhaven, I might as well push back, but super quick. And we'll see how the how the wind and everything is doing and how I feel. At night, this is kind of the time to be out on the water. All right, so we're just it's really nice, chilly. Heading on into Bellingham bay. I got this beautiful sunset behind me with crescent moon too. Beautiful night to be coming in. And all that good stuff. So anyways, we're wrapping up an adventure here. The main adventure, or actually the most difficult part, is docking the boat out of everything. So it'd be super easy if I could drop the hook in Fairhaven or something like that, but to the slip, okay. Notice how sometimes I'm not looking at the camera, and that's because it's a camera and not a person. Reviewing a little bit of the videos, and there's quite a bit of me talking in there. I'll do my best to edit it. So I'm back in Squalicum. Just really wish I wasn't back. I'm okay with getting back to things, but definitely could be out there for a lot. I'm gonna take the day and organize the trip a little bit in terms of some of the things I needed. Good eye contact, but it's because the stuff around me is a little bit more intriguing than the black part of this lens. So forgive me for looking around while I'm filming. Late December, which is I know when you're watching stuff, it feels like so. I really got a couple weeks to do a couple of these upgrades. Thanks for joining me if you did, and if you didn't, thanks anyway for being yourself and being honest with yourself and deciding it wasn't something that was good for you. And we'll catch you in the next video. Fingers, I guess. So, yeah, that's really the end of the... currents and stuff like that. Occasional weather report.